Good evening and welcome back to Let's Play Geralt in a Towel. No, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. When we left off last time, we met up with Yen, but we didn't really get to talk anything with her because, we were kind of in a hurry. She actually came to us in White Orchard after we learned that she was in Vizima, and then on our way to Vizima, the Wild Hunt attacked, so that was a little intense, but we made it here. Now we are on our way to a meeting with Emperor Emhyr of our Emrys, which is... I'm always saying that last word wrong. They pronounced it and Emrys? What? It's a word that throws me. Regardless. So, we're gonna need to talk to him, but first, Barber, do we have more options? He's like, no, I'm done. We don't need to actually speak. Alright. So, I need to pick out an outfit. I'm a little bit excited about that. It's kind of fun to play dress up.
But a towel wrapped around one's waist is not fitting attire for an audience.
Why not? Come on. Alright. So, we'll start over here. This isn't bad. We've got some nice detailing on the... What, would that be a doublet? Is it a waistcoat? I know these words, but I don't really know which piece is which. I think they all have puffy shoulders, don't they? They do. There's no avoiding that. Puffy shoulders, so I guess that's not too bad because at least you got some good arm movement. Kind of tight sleeves, but his outfits generally have bracers anyhow, right? So he's used to kind of tightness around the forearm. It's probably not so bad. This one I kind of hate. I do not like the pleated front. It's out. Also, it's got the weird top part that comes to like the ruffle collar. Not into that. This collar was definitely better. I think this is the winner though, because we've got the what would that be, like maybe brocade going down there, the design, which is nice detailing, but then it's got the vertical stripes as well, which adds some interest to it and kind of a bit of shape to it. That's my problem with this one with the pleats in front, is it reminds me of our stupid Cadwenny Gambison that just makes him look like he's got a big old paunch. This one's fitted a little better. Yeah, this is the one. The Elegant. Okay, since now I can see their names, I need to see what they're all called. All the same? Yeah, it is a doublet, isn't it? Okay. Alright, well this one wins it. I like this. So. We ready?
This might come as
alright. I had a feeling he wasn't going to let me go until I actually put them on. Not enough to have them, unsurprisingly. They do absolutely nothing for armor. Oh, how about, that's a good look. Yeah, Geralt of the Towel. I know I'm just messing around, but this really kind of amuses me.
Waist is not fitting attire for an audience.
Come on, you get a nice breeze in there. Alright. We'll put some proper pants on. He doesn't tuck in the bottom of the shirt? Wouldn't it, I don't know, I don't mind it coming out of the sleeves, but it looks kind of sloppy coming out underneath the bottom of the doublet. Alright, well, I'm gonna trust you, Geralt, that you know the proper way to dress for your times, so.
And they say clothes do not make the man. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
Yeah, I guess. It'll do. It's kind of weird seeing him without his beard now. I've gotten used to it.
A studded doublet and a sword on my back. That's what would satisfy me.
It would be better?
But tough. When in Nilfgaard.
Yes.
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough.
Ha ha ha.
The gentleman is to stand before the ruler of the north and south. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
Emhyr doesn't care. Do we take the opportunity to challenge this man's assumption about us barbarous northerners? Or do we say, this man's just doing his job, whatever? I kind of feel, I don't know. I feel like being as contentious as I can, kind of. Emhyr wants to see us. He's going to see us regardless.
I'm not some boor. I know how to bow.
Please, demonstrate.
I've served kings and queens in the past, dude. Well, as a witcher, I mean,
Is how
done
you might
contracts
bow
for him.
to a whore on a street corner, not to the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Please watch.
You actually get some points there, though, Nilfgaard,
Leg
that you bow to
extended.
your horse.
Hand flat, head down, chin to chest.
Yeah, that's not happening.
The gentleman will rehearse.
No. No, I don't see Geralt playing along with this. Mm-mm.
Gotta be kidding.
Not at all. I am mortally serious. Does the gentleman know the penalty for breaches of etiquette in the Emperor's presence? 200 lashes.
This emperor is not my
Lashes
emperor,
upon him. So I will not let him leave until I am confident that he knows how to behave.
and I don't have to obey those formalities. I'll risk the lashes. Ugh, I don't even remember how you did it, buddy, because this is stupid. Emhyr wants to talk to me, and he's going to talk to me whether I bow properly at him or not. If it gives me the chance, when we do bow to him, I'm going to give him the street corner whore bow.
Please, it is neither the time nor the place for such antics. The gentleman will watch carefully. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will rehearse.
Alright. That guy just had his left leg forward, so... Every wrong bow, let's do it. I like the little head shaking. Jeez, the things I gotta go through with here.
Wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Once more. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest.
I'm with you, Geralt. This is so
The
stupid.
gentleman will rehearse.
Not meant as any kind of, like, criticism of the game that we have to go through this. It's just me feeling contentious about Nilfgaard. And really, it's ridiculous to, like, I would... If they claim that they're actually going to be better for the North and impose order and stuff, then I would think that they should be sensible enough to not hold it against us that we don't know all their fiddly, stupid little rules of etiquette and what the proper way to bow before the Emperor, right? So, come on.
Lacking fluidity and grace.
Tough.
But we've learned to expect less of Nordlings.
Great.
Come with me.
What's through this door, though? I know, he's talking to me.
Title.
I will talk to him however I want.
Arch-magnificency.
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition.
If I get the option,
Your
I'm going to
Majesty
call
will
him by
suffice.
his proper
Spoken
name.
loudly, clearly, and with respect.
Not his proper Nilfgaardian name, but the proper name that I know him by. Okay, are you going to hang out there for a second? Good, because I want to look around. As I said last time, I really don't want to spoil crucial things from the books, but I'm feeling like if we're talking to the Emperor, we're kind of getting to it. So it depends. If I have the option to address him by a certain name, I will. Okay, don't talk. Just wait there. We good? Okay, I want to know what's over here. I'm sure I can't get in the door, but I just like to look around. Locked. Greetings to you as well. Okay, stand right there. Right there. Wait for me. Thank you. Just gonna wander all around the Emperor's castle. Ooh. Yes, I would like that. Oh, game, come on. You're not gonna let me have this little bit of snark in front of the Emperor? Fine. No, you're stuck in your proper visiting clothes. Let's see what we got here. The Wild Hunt. From farmers and herdsmen, milkmaids to midwives, all the common folk of the continent whisper, sharing tales of a wraithly procession pounding across the sky. The Wild Hunt, they call it. Winds and gales, storms and blizzards arise when it is sighted, and all grows cold, though the sun shone bright moments before. Some remember only the cold from the shock of the encounter, and claim the riders come always in winter. But nay, this is not so. The hunt brings its own ice. Plus, didn't it hit, like, especially hard on Samhain, I was thinking? Do they call it Samhain in the books? I don't remember. But it was around then. Death and war gallop in its wake. I'm pretty sure the book specified it was October, right? Anyhow, or so the superstition goes. Yet evil enough is the hunt itself. It takes folks captive, youths most often, in the prime of their wilding years, with 10 to 20 summers behind them. The hunt rushes in, and they disappear, only to return long years later with no memory of what passed in the time between. Good to know. Okay, let's do this. Oh, who's all these people? Bow before His Imperial Majesty, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
Emhyr var Emreis.
Emreis.
Bow.
Nah.
Your Imperial Majesty.
As your Majesty wished.
Good.
Good, everyone can go. Be as upset as you like that I didn't bow. What'd you call me here for?
So many months at Foltest Court. Yet you still haven't mastered the basics of etiquette.
Know what they say? Can't teach an old wolf new tricks.
Deal with it. Everyone else may be terrified of you.
You didn't summon
I'm
me
not.
to reminisce about the good old days, so...
Silence. My daughter Cirilla.
Okay.
She's returned. And she's in danger.
So if it's saying I don't have to worry.
The wild hunt pursues her.
Wait, isn't that the picture
You
of the
will find
imposter?
her and bring her to me.
Okay, I will not bring her to you. I have no reason to do that at this point. I was a better father to her than you ever were. Alright, so.
Are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Yeah, it was
Do you
safer
believe
for her.
I'd drag you here in the middle of a war to discuss a rumor?
Maybe.
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be.
Well, now you remember.
I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
I mean, really, when you say, why me? Because I did go across, like, all the known world to fetch her before. He knows that if anyone can do it, it's gonna be Geralt.
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30?
They couldn't find her
So
before
why
when they were
me?
trying to get her,
You
Geralt.
know why? Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always.
What do you intend to do with her?
Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless.
Yeah, but I
If
don't
for
agree
no
to give her
other
to
reason
you.
than because I shall pay you more than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
You know, oh. This is... That's really insulting of him to say that. He knows that she means so much more to him than that, and he wouldn't potentially betray her just for money. Jerk. I'll find her for her sake, and I'm not delivering her to you. I'm delivering her wherever she wants to go.
Save your generosity for those whose homes your armies have razed. I'll do it for Ciri, not for your gold.
Your motives do not interest me. Only results.
What makes you so sure you're
Yennefer
gonna get
will tell
results
you
you
the rest.
like?
This audience is finished. Mererid! Take him to the sorceress.
I have no reason to like you, Emhyr. Yeah, you chose not to kill me.
Did the gentleman not understand?
No, I understood.
Did I not emphasize adequately that one must bow to the Emperor?
Relax, nothing happened.
Exactly.
The gentleman. but I shall be punished.
Wow, really?
Please keep close and bother no one. We've had enough breaches of etiquette for one day.
Now I feel like a jerk. I think it was a fair choice. I think arguably Geralt wouldn't have bowed, especially knowing everything he knows about Emhyr and the past dealings he's had with him. But I didn't stop to consider... I mean, come on, Emhyr... It's really stupid of him to punish this guy. Emhyr's dealt with me before. He knows how I am. And he knows that I have reason to have a lot of disdain for him.
In the morning, and it's past noon.
Calm yourself.
What? Do you know who you're talking to, soldier? I'm Herivard II, Prince of Elandan. Not only am I made to wait here like some supplicant, but with who for company? A tinter.
Oh, how rough.
Master of the Tanners Guild? As if it makes a damn difference. I demand...
Calm down. The Emperor demands silence. Those who disturb face harsh punishment, no matter their birth.
Hey, Witcher, need anything?
I do, and I'm going to talk to you, but a couple things. First, I bet that soldier actually loved that opportunity to be able to tell a nobleman to shut up without any repercussions. Because he's got the Emperor on his side. Haha. Another thing, how embarrassing, we're wearing the same doublet. Ugh. Alright.
Greetings.
Greetings.
A Witcher. Oh, that's just perfect.
At least I don't have that ridiculous ruffle. And I know this guy's like, I told you to stay right next to me and not talk to anybody. Yeah, I know. Not listening. But this was a very, very interesting conversation. And I actually really like talking to Emhyr like that. I mean, that's just how he just assumes I'm going to go along with his plan because he's so convinced that he's such a schemer. And yeah, I will go look after Ciri. Gonna get Ciri for sure. But I actually care about her. He barely even knows her as a result of the gross weirdo plans that he laid out. And when he says he needs her here now, like, I don't know. The only reason I can possibly cut him some slack is that he ultimately... Okay. I mean, the story's taken as direct continuations of the books. So if you hadn't read the books, then there's some things here that it's just going to come out. But he ultimately decided to let her go, right? He decided not to utterly crush his daughter's spirit, because if he'd followed through with his plan, then it would have, and he didn't want to destroy the wonderful person she ended up being. But everything that she ended up being was nothing to do with him. I mean, I suppose only to do with him in the sense that he hounded her life from the first moment Nilfgaard came after Sintra, you know? So, I mean, I guess he shaped things before then, too, like with her mother. In bad ways, he has shaped her life for a long time. Whatever, Emhyr. I doubt that you actually have her best interests at heart here. Maybe he does. Maybe he feels that she's in danger and he's best able to protect her or whatever. But I disagree, so I'm not taking her to him. As I said, wherever she wants to go, that's where she can go. And this is going to be, too, I have a suspicion, kind of a fear, that Yen may well be on the Emperor's side, and that's why she's talking to him. And I don't know if she agrees that somehow Ciri's going to be safest with him. If she does, we're striking out. No, we're not following that. I do believe that Geralt loves Yen, but even more than that, he loves Ciri. So we're doing whatever choice seems best for Ciri. That's what we're going to do. Hello?
Have you long been in Nilfgaard, sir?
Ja, nee. Raadsliden echt es tun es saur an nein fire.
Es ziet efsat. Ep finser nein mathenk. Nein kof hotel an emf pava.
Es frag. Kiaside.
Duth. Visse for atra es paese.
What's going on, fellas?
These
days, it's unwise for small realms to remain fully
Mind if I
independent.
interrupt?
Why not join in instead?
Maybe.
We're discussing neutrality. How difficult it is to preserve.
Aha! Yeah, Geralt knows something about that.
Know a thing or two about that.
Care to explain?
Never changes. I try to stay out of things, stand aside. Then comes an urgent summons, and an offer I can't refuse.
You always get drawn into it. You try not to,
Enough
but...
about that. Mind if we change the subject?
Alright.
So, talk to the Emperor.
Why did he summon you?
So not even you know.
No. But I wager it's an ordinary witch's contract.
Ha! How much you wager?
Some werebubs.
The way he says that's magnificent.
See ya.
Soon, mind you.
Geralt, we just did basically what that lady in the inn did, where we dropped a little bit of information. I know something you don't know. Oh, but I can't tell you. It's an obnoxious thing to do, it really is. Don't do that to people. Okay, my guy's waiting over there. Alright, I want to talk to all these people, but we'll wait in case he turns and goes in that direction. Okay, no, he is heading straight ahead to that door, so just wait there. Hello, everybody! What are they doing over there? That's really interesting. Work overseen by these soldiers, whoever that lady is.
Do not bother me.
Very well. What about you? Can I bother you?
Good eye to you. Good eye.
Good day. Why are you guys digging this up? Oh, you're getting rid of the Temerian lilies? Oh, and you're going to replace it with Nilfgaardian sun. Got it.
Wish to enlist, Nordling?
No, thanks.
Stop.
What?
The gentleman will have time for a stroll later. Please stay with me.
No, I'm strolling now. Ah, this is the throne, eh? Hello? Ooh. Oh, you gotta bust all of the lilies out the windows too? That's a shame. They're beautiful. I hope they replace it with something of equal craftsmanship. You know, you might as well keep the place looking nice. Oh, and they're taking it. This is really kind of distressing. Look at this. Stories told in the windows, all the work gone into this. They're just gonna bust it out. Instead of... This is my problem with Nilfgaard, like I said. Instead of building atop the history and the culture that's already present, and, you know, allowing people to remain kind of their sense of identity, but expanding it to be part of Nilfgaard as well, they're gonna erase it all. All of this is gonna be lost.
Please stay with me.
Settle down. I will be there, Chamberlain. I'm lamenting all this loss of culture and history. This is why I don't like you Nilfgaardians. Yeah, deal with that. Ugh, jerks. What here to sort? Yeah, I am. Oh, you know me.
What?
Fine. You're the one who started talking about me. I just wanted to see if you had anything to say. Yeah, I know how to use my Witcher senses. Okay. Let's go get these white myrtle petals. It's very important, apparently. What do we got over here? 100 slaves from the Duchess of Ikovaro's court. Oh, they're complaining that people from the north can't clean properly. Wonderful.
We've no need for the gentleman's escort. We've no need for
Sorceress?
Oh.
Did I not request?
He's like, can you follow simple orders? No. That's... Now see, this is pretty. That's their sun, right? Why can't they just add the sun to the things that are already there? This was once Temeria. Now it is part of Nilfgaard. Like, why does it have to be completely replace everything as though it had never been? You're not fooling anybody, Nilfgaard. I'm right here.
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Oh, good. Alright, so what's it now? I'm gonna go talk to Yen.
Yes, hen es green.
Okay, and that door is locked, and you guys are just hanging out. I mean, I suppose we can get that, but it doesn't look like there was actually anything particularly exciting in here. These are herbs that I've seen all over the place. Alright.
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me.
Alright. Also, not that we've had to fight or anything, but some stuff has been accomplished. Good to have a saving case.
Authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants guild, but the Church of the Eternal Fire and the criminal underworld. At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare a clean draft. In triplicate.
Now this is one thing I'll say, Nilfgaard. If you happen to want to wipe out the Eternal Fire, I'm kind of totally on board with that. I really hate them from The Witcher 1. So we could work together towards that goal. Which brings it again to being back in Vizima. I said last time how I'd never want to go to Vizima again. And I never wanted to go to Flotsam again. Because I hate those cities. Because they're horrible. And they had the big uprisings against all the non-humans. And I think my problem with those cities is that being here now, whenever we can get out and about in the city, I'm not going to be able to know, just talking to the citizenry necessarily, like, who participated in those uprisings and who did not. I'm going to possibly be talking to people who, like, actively attacked their non-human neighbors or burned their homes and did other horrible scumbag things. And it's a lot of work to try. Like, I don't know. I just want to write it. I think it's just on my mind lately. My mom was recently robbed at gunpoint, like at her apartment, checking the mail. And her lease is almost up anyhow. I would break the lease if I were her. I would break the lease and I would move. But she's like, no, it's almost up, and then I'll just move to somewhere else and it'll be fine. But it's like, in my mind, I kind of want to, like, other than her being there, I want to be done with the city she lives in forever. Don't want to go back there. Because it seemed like a nice place, and it seemed like a safe place. And lots of it is a nice and safe place, but I would have thought she'd be safe at her apartment, you know? And then she wasn't. She was just checking the mail, and someone robbed her. And it just kind of... it shatters that illusion that you were secure where you were, and now it's like... And now it's like, okay, so... she can't really trust any of her neighbors. You don't know who's going to be a good person and who's a bad person. The bad people don't make it obvious they're bad people until they're doing the bad thing that you would have liked to have avoided. And I feel like it's the same with Vizima and Flotsam. There's probably some decent folk in there, but there's a lot of really scummy folk too. And I almost want to write them off and not even deal with trying to sort out who's who, and who I should help, and who deserves whatever strife they're facing. But that's not... I don't know. If you have that kind of attitude, things are never going to improve and never get better, you know? If you just wash your hands of the whole situation and don't... But, I don't know. It's probably for the best that we're back in Vizima, and maybe we can help. Except in these games so often, when you try to help, it's really hard to tell if you've actually helped or if you've made things worse. It's generally debatable results you end up with, so... I don't know. I just been thinking it brings up some feelings being back in Vizima. Alright, what do we got here? Sword for witches. Didn't I read that already? I feel like I did. Yes. Yeah, that was the... But I guess all of that, because they just mentioned the Eternal Fire there. Kind of feel like, you know, if we have an opportunity to clear out some of them, well... that's sort of helping to clean up the city, isn't it? I might be down for that. Pearls of the North. That seems almost familiar too. No, I don't think I've read this. Novigrad. No one can claim to have traveled the northern realms who has not been to Novigrad. If I were forced to list what during my many meanderings has made the greatest impression on me, it would be precisely this great, and yet at the same time free city. A metropolis worthy of the Empire, its only flaw is that the civilization Nilfgaard carries within her has not yet enlightened it. That is why hordes of reactionary cultists of the Eternal Fire dwell in the midst of its excellent buildings and superb commercial infrastructure. Sure. So if we do take out the Eternal Fire, then that kind of strengthens Nilfgaard, and that sucks. Maybe I'm not so hasty to work towards eradicating them after all. One feels as though superstition is how the local hierarch and his temple guards cement their power over the city dwellers, and many they are to control, for the city counts no less than 30,000 of inhabitants. While strolling through its fabulous port, surrounded by marvels of architecture, it's hard to imagine that centuries ago, Novigrad was a mere minor elven townstead. When the city fell into the hands of the Nordlings, its problems grew exponentially, for as is well known, the people of the north can do a great many things, but peacefully and orderly cohabitation is not one of them. Well, yeah. And so Novigrad first belonged to Redania, and then fell under Temerian rule, until finally, after endless compromises and bargains, it at last became a free city. But is the city truly free? I dare to doubt it. Redanian influence makes itself felt too strongly on every street corner, and the fact that the city is located within Radovid's territory speaks for itself. While wandering the city's streets, I came across 4 watermills, 8 banks, and nearly 19 pawnshops. There are also a great many houses of simple pleasures, such as taverns and brothels, and Novigrad's commitment to matters of faith is borne witness to by the fact that the city contains no less than, I kid you not, 19 temples to the Eternal Fire. Just as many temples as pawnshops, eh? What more can be said? I think Novigrad has all the makings of the capital of the world, and perhaps that is what it will one day become. First, however, someone needs to bring order within her walls. Oh, and who's going to bring the order, Yeah, no mystery there. Okay.
A shame I have no time.
Are you the person that I need to talk to? No, I need to talk to Yennefer. Where's she hiding at? Somewhere else. Okay, well, we're going to just look around a bit. A portrayal of the elder races. Oh, really? What is a non-human? The answer is simple. Anyone that's not human. As the very name suggests, it is something which resembles, and yet nevertheless is not, a human. Though it walks on 2 legs, speaks a tongue similar to our own, and dresses in similar attire, it all the same has more in common with base beast than noble man. Okay. Man, these books all suck. Dwarves are like moles. No, they're people, actually. They're not at all like moles. They feel best underground and avoid direct sunlight. They like to live in filth, forever smudging themselves in mud and slime. They love everything that can be found within the earth. Rocks, metal, minerals of all shape and color. It is also said that, like their kindred moles, they feed most readily on worms, roaches, and other night crawlers. Yeah, this author has no clue. Halflings, for their part, are more reminiscent of gophers. Fat, lazy, and loud in that typical rodent way, their minds are filled only with thoughts of food and drink, which they steal from other, nobler beasts and greedily squirrel away in their hovels. No, not at all the case. They are marked by a cruel craftiness. You could be dying of hunger, and they would not share a meal with you. You could be howling from poverty, and they could be swimming in gold, and yet they would still fleece you to the last crown. You could do nothing but good to them, and they would still stab a knife in your back. Good grief. Elves, in turn, seem related to the birds of prey that dwell in far-off Zerrikania. They care most for colored feathers. They would most readily spend all day staring at their reflections in the water and singing their own praises. They are so awash in self-love that they no longer feel any desire toward members of the opposite sex of their own species. Their appearance, unquestionably pleasant to the eye, is highly misleading, for they are extraordinarily cruel, and any who judge them by looks alone they first dupe and then kill in cold blood. The best proof of this? The so-called Scoia'tael, bandits that claim to fight for freedom, but in truth only long to kill humans. All these vile so-called elder races are, to our great fortune, slowly dying out. Joy fills the heart of every right-thinking man at the thought that his great-grandchildren will never know them, that in their day dwarves, halflings, and elves will be mere fairy tale characters used to scare young, impressionable children. What a sad last paragraph. Because if we accept the premise of the world, then this is what happened, right? This is supposed to be, kind of our past, and yeah, they all died out, and then everything's just stories, and the world is just full of only humanity. And how bleak is that? If it could have been something more. Oh, whatever, we'll just take everything.
Directly out of Nordland tales. Inconceivable.
Alright, let's talk to you first. And he's like, I'm kind of trying to write a letter here. Alright, Ambassador. I can't talk to you? You're just gonna stand and warm your hands by the fire? No discussion with a simple witcher? Alright. What is this? Quicksilver. Interesting. Is this like Yen's workshop here? So many books in this area. What shall become of Temeria? Temeria, a land where milk and honey once flowed. In what did she wrong the gods that they should treat her so cruelly? The Pearl of the North to some, she proved a galloping range for Nilfgaardian cavalry to others. As a country, it had survived 2 previous wars against the Empire. It was here that the war's bloodiest battles were fought. It was in Temeria where their most bestial deeds were wrought. It was Temerian civilians who bore the full brunt of these wars' horrors. And bear them we did, bravely and steadfastly, until the demise of our great protector, King Foltest. Then Providence turned its fickle face from Temeria. Murdered most treacherously, Foltest failed to leave Temeria a worthy successor. And so all manner of curse soon fell upon her, tearing her apart like so much carrion. She had no more allies then. None remembered that we had once been the armor protecting the North from the designs of the mad dancer, he who had the gravestones of his foes pounded into a ballroom floor. A free and independent Temeria is no more. A dark-faced sun looms over her every rampart. Yet we Temerians live on, and always will. As long as folk believe, the usurper who took our beloved capital, Vizima, to treat as his property will forever peer over his shoulder in fear. I don't think he's the least bit afraid of you guys, to be honest. For in the shadows lurks not one dagger, but the power of a nation of daggers, waiting to deal justice's blow. Now, I think he feels that he's got you well and truly beat, and the only thing he's going to fear is the infighting of the other Nilfgaardian nobles who might try and take his spot. Yeah, I don't think he has a whole lot of respect for or worry about the Nordlings. Royal lineages of the North. Lineages. What do we got here? Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, born in 1251, heiress to the throne of Sintra, Princess of Bruges and Duchess of Sodden, heiress to Innis Ard-Skellig and Innis An-Skellig, and suzerain of Atra and Abiara. Daughter of Pavetta, see Pavetta Fiona Ellen, and the Urcheon of Erlenwald, see Emhyr var Emrys. Granddaughter of the famous Lioness of Sintra, Queen Calanth, see Calanth Fiona Rhiannon. A shipwreck occurred during a journey from Sintra to... Is it Skellig or Skellige? Probably Skellige. To Skellige, which took the lives of the Urcheon and Pavetta. Except it didn't. It was all a hoax. Well, I mean, it did kill Pavetta, but... Cyrilla's further upbringing was then entrusted to her grandmother. In 1260, afraid of the looming Nilfgaardian threat, Queen Calanth sent Cyrilla to the court of King Eärvel, Eärvel of Verdun, where the heiress of Sintra was to marry the heir to the throne of Verdun, Prince Kistrin, Kistrin of Verdun. But she didn't want to, and she's such a scamp. Though allying with Verdun and gaining the aid of that realm's army was at the time Calanth's top priority, no marriage ever occurred, and Cyrilla returned to her grandmother's court. In 1262, during the so-called Sintra massacre, Cyrilla went missing. Yep. And then there was a big hunt for her. Everyone wanted to find her. And we had a whole saga of books about it. Okay, so Yen must be this way. Feeling like we got most of that pretty well checked out. Oh, I was gonna loot that.
Geralt, that tunic. You look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to.
Yeah, let's talk.
Now do you understand why I'm at Emhyr's court?
And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
Where's her big scar, though? And also, if she's here, why hasn't she found us? She probably has reason. I trust her. So, she is all grown up, but, explain a bit your alliance with Nilfgaard here.
So they're our agents now? My, you've clearly settled in quick.
Geralt, don't twist my words.
Just explain yourself is all.
I know who Emhyr is. He started this war and its bloodshed. He had my friends killed. But I haven't any other choice. So please, let's not belabor the pros and cons and instead focus on finding Ciri. All right?
All right, that's fair enough.
Emhyr said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe.
No, it makes sense.
What happened yesterday? How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri. Using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
You idiot.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emhyr's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
I can't say I'm surprised that she would do that. I knew there was a chance they could find me, but she was overconfident and thought they wouldn't. I mean, this is the idiot who decided to wrestle with a Djinn just because she thought she could handle it, and then she couldn't. Ugh. It does irritate me that she would do that. It does. Whatever. So... But I want to know why you want me to find her, Yen. I'm feeling like your motivation should be that you want to keep her safe. That is what she wanted in the books. She wanted to keep her safe. She's crafty enough that she might... She could be using Nilfgaard. You know, making the most out of this alliance she can while she can. Although if she's known that Ciri's been here and she's been searching for her for months, like... She was able to leave us that letter before and mention the unicorn. Could she not mention that Ciri was back? She didn't, because she didn't want... Because she is a schemer. She probably didn't, because she didn't want Geralt to go searching for Ciri at that point. But now she can't do it herself, so she's ready for him to do it. So, what does the Wild Hunt want from Ciri? Well, we learned last time that the Wild Hunt are actually the NL, and so they want Ciri to bear a child of the Elder Blood for them. That's what they want. But let's ask.
The Wild Hunt. What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift.
It is.
As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I'd prefer not to think about it, really.
They want to be able to travel between worlds freely again.
So where's Ciri been seen, exactly?
In two places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords? Secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold.
Ugh.
Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me.
She will be, Geralt.
What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a
Skellige, that's how you say
there
it.
recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri.
Could be.
I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
All right. Yeah, I do want to know. Why didn't you say anything to me? I mean, come on.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Ah, it's like that.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
And Triss was taking advantage.
That's your excuse?
Yeah. It is. It's a pretty valid excuse.
Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
Yen. You're being really catty and unreasonable. He had lost his freaking memory, and you know the degree to which Triss wants him. Of course she would swoop in and take... I mean, this doesn't excuse Triss, but it's not surprising that she would swoop in and take the opportunity, because Triss has never understood that Geralt does not actually want anything to do with her that way. So, I think it's unreasonable of you to hold that against him, Yen, but that's Yennefer. So, very well. It's kind of stupid that, you know, we've been searching for her forever, and that's her. Well, childish. But, I mean, right along. I've never...
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Well, that's
Not
handy,
gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there.
Oh, I can talk to him now.
Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
But look at his face. You see him beaming. He's so happy to be with her. She's not a personality that I necessarily really like, but she... Oh, there she goes.
Yes?
I didn't think she'd actually talk to me. I just wanted to try it. But he really does. And back in his dream, too, at the beginning. Just the look on his face every time he looks at her. Like, he's so delighted to see her. It makes him happy just to be near her. So, I mean, you know, everybody gets to pick their own, right? If this is what he wants out of a relationship, if this is what he's happy with, this is the woman that his heart desires, that's his choice. And so, I'll not stand in the way of that, but I don't think she really gave him that great of a... Ooh. Explanation. I think she's probably playing some kind of game here. Which she does not mean at all to hurt him. She does not mean to hurt Ciri. But if she misgauges, which is what happened on Thanedd. You know, on Thanedd, she chose to trust a friend of hers and brought Ciri there, and it was disaster. Oh, the last wish. Human life requires 3 things for its sustenance: food, drink, and gossip. It is thus no wonder that no matter where I travel, be it icebound Povis, I don't know, or evergreen Toussaint, everyone asks, and I know I'm butchering some pronunciations, I'm sure, everyone asks me about the passions that bind Geralt and the sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg. Probably in large part because Dandelion sang a bunch of songs about it. As a man both cautious and discreet, I refuse to betray their secrets, with one important exception. The history of their first encounter is so extraordinary, so romantic and moving, I don't know that I'd call it that it would be a veritable crime to hide its light beneath a bushel basket. Indeed, had I not witnessed these events in person, I would never believe there was room in our grim and dark world for such fantastic marvels. It all began when Geralt and I... Oh, this is Dandelion himself. Were feeling a bit peckish, and, unburdened by heavy coin pouches, decided to fish our supper out of a lake. No bites were to be had, but we did not leave empty-handed. My hook snagged quite a lovely little pot. Oblivious to my friend's warnings, I opened it, and in doing so freed a powerful Djinn. And this is a story, if you've not ever read it, you should really read it, particularly if you're a fan of Dandelion, because this is one of his more magnificent moments. Without giving it much thought, I set about proclaiming my wishes, and his wishes were so incredibly petty and Dandelion. They are just wonderful. Before I could get to 3, however, the Djinn, irritated I see now in hindsight, at being issued demands so soon after waking, began to throttle me. Geralt was able to drive him off, but I was left in a sorry state. I acted, the Witcher told me later, as though under the influence of some curse. Clearly, the help of an expert in the magic arcana would be needed. It was our good fortune that Yennefer of Vengerberg happened to be staying in a nearby village. Geralt went to her to ask that she heal his best friend, who happened also to be the brightest star in the North's poetic firmament. Yennefer, however, was more interested in the Djinn, which she wanted to trap into magic servitude, than in its victim, and, it should be said, played the Witcher like a well-strung mandolin. She did, indeed. She was really horrible to him. Like, when this is your first introduction of her, you're like, wow, this lady really sucks, but Geralt's totally into her. Even in this first story. Yet rather than grow angry at being used in such a calculating manner, he fell white head over muddy boots in love with her. Because that's, I don't know, apparently that's what he admires in a woman. What happened then? Well, I won't go into details. Suffice to say that Yennefer's plans hardly delighted the Djinn, and without its cooperation she proved unable to tame it. Yeah, she bit off way more than she could chew in that respect, and endangered a whole town. The sorceress would surely have met a tragic end, and taken all of Rind along with her, or maybe it's Rinda, whatever, had Geralt not rushed to her rescue. For once, he did not need to draw either of his blades. To send the Djinn packing, he had but to pronounce the third and final wish. He could have asked for anything, wealth, fame, power, but instead, he asked the Djinn to bind his fate to that of the arrogant yet intriguing sorceress from Vengerberg. Julian Alfred Pancratz, Viscount of Lettenhove, born 1232, award-winning poet, playwright, and troubadour, frequent performer at the courts of Niedermere, Vizima, Venslav, and many other nobles and notables. Alumnus of Oxenfurt Academy, Dandelion. We read that. I'm going to take it anyhow in case I can sell it. Might as well. Okay, so we didn't get these bags. Let's get the bags. This is what I was going to grab when I first came in. Alright, what am I missing? I know... Okay, I didn't grab this one. She Who Knows. Folk say there were four at first. The mother, She Who Knows, the Lady of the Wood, came here... Oh, that's all the same person? Yeah, the mother, She Who Knows, the Lady of the Wood, came here from a faraway land, and since she suffered terribly from loneliness, she made 3 daughters out of dirt and water. A long, long time ago, the mother was sole ruler of all of Velen. Her daughters brought her the people's requests and served as her voice. Each spring, sacrifices of grain, animals, and men were made to the Lady of the Wood on her special night. Yet as the years passed, the Lady of the Wood slipped deeper and deeper into madness. Her madness eventually spread over the land. Men took to abandoning their homes and setting out into the bog, where they became food for beasts. Before long, Velen was drowning in blood. The daughters saw their land nearing destruction and took it upon themselves to save it. When spring came once more, and with it the night of sacrifices, they killed their mother and buried her in the bog. Wow. Her blood watered the oak atop Ardcarban, or maybe it's Serban, and from then on the tree grew wholesome and hearty fruit for the people. Wow. As for the lady's immortal soul, it refused to leave its beloved land, and so the sisters imprisoned it. To this day it lies trapped beneath the whispering hillock, where it thrashes about in powerless rage. I don't remember anything about this at all from the books, so I'm guessing this is maybe going to be something to do with the quest? It sounds like something we should leave well alone, but I'm not going to if we have the opportunity, because it sounds very interesting. Letter to Yennefer. From who? Yennefer, my dear friend. Thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering your earlier attempt to reach me via Megascope. I'm trying to limit my magic communication to the absolute minimum. One never knows who's listening, don't you agree? I'm delighted you have found a position at our gracious Emperor's court and wish you the best of luck in the search for his daughter. It is good to know that Emhyr's intentions for her have become more, how shall I put it, mundane. Well, what exactly are his intentions? I doubt he's returning to his original intentions, which were horrifying, but what does he plan to do now? Perhaps in these circumstances, an agreement regarding the lodge will prove possible after all. Oh. One of them, huh? In response to your first question, I can state beyond all doubt that Ciri has not appeared anywhere south of the Aruga. Believe me, I could recognize her magic signature in my sleep. But if you're a lodge sorceress, I don't know that I believe you, and I think Yennefer would only reach out to you because she's hoping that it would come up with something, but I don't think she trusts any of you, and that is one of the main well, not one of the main. There's some redeeming things about Yen. First off is how she does care about Ciri, and she does care about Geralt. Sometimes she shows it in a twisted way, but she really does. In general, twisted way regarding Geralt, I don't... That's just relationship dynamics, though. I don't... It's not how I'd want my relationship to go. But I think she does care about Ciri. She genuinely does. And, she didn't want to join the lodge, and I think that says a lot for her. We know I hate the lodge. Alright. I have not had any contact with Triss for a long time. I only know that things in Novigrad have taken an ill turn. She mentioned something earlier about fleeing to Kovir, but I am afraid that in the current political climate that amounts to an impossible daydream. I hope I will soon be able to join you in Vizima. First, however, I must take care of some unfortunate yet urgent matters in Beauclair. With my fondest regards, Fringilla Viga... Isn't she dead? I thought Nilfgaard killed her. She was the other Nilfgaardian one. Her and Asir. Yes, thank you for the news about Geralt. He always seems to land on his feet, doesn't he? I'm kind of surprised that Yen would tell her anything about Geralt. Does she know about the relationship they had? I could see her saying something about it just to kind of rub salt in Fringilla's wounds that or maybe it's Fringilla, but whatever, that Geralt is with Yen and not with her. But I don't know, I'd almost see her being more... I think she prefers to pretend that any previous person who meant something to him doesn't exist. Alright, we already read that. Yeah, this is just Ciri again. The Wild Hunt we read. And we read that. How many of that nasty book do they need to keep around here? Rusty bread knife. I know, I'm gonna actually leave something. I don't think I need that. Okay. I think... I was gonna say I think we got everything, and we did not. The collected verse of Gonzal's Versailles? What is this? Love. To love is to build a house of cards, or play a game of chess. But one wrong word or ill-thought move, and you must start it all afresh. Tide. Whenever I watch the tide recede, cold coils of fear grip round my heart. Will the seas sneak back, calm and sure, in the dark of night, as they have before? Or will they stay on distant shores, leaving crushed shells and washed-up dreams, as memory of serfs of yore? Well. Okay then. Let's go talk to this guy.
A shame I have no time.
Alright.
Ambassador Varatra,
I was told to talk to you.
Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
I'm not the Emperor's servant. I am just temporarily working with him. Okay. Yep, that is certainly a map. So then... Alright.
What's new in Skellige?
Skellige.
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other, pillage, occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
What, you're not interested in conquering them?
Sound awfully confident.
Bringing them order?
What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
Skellige, though. That is where Yen is going. Wasn't that where she saw the vision of Melitelli? I'm feeling like it is. So, if there's big magic going on there, it could be something to do with that. Alright, tell me about Novigrad.
Any news from Novigrad? Is the free city still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenford, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Yeah.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear?
This
They seek
again?
reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly.
So it's a bunch of hate towards
So it
non-humans.
promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty. Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants.
Mages, elves, and dwarves aren't deviants.
I've been stationed
Thanks.
in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
Yeah, it's another riot building, isn't it? Great.
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever. Perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps.
Yeah.
Thus, We've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron.
The Bloody Baron, eh?
I advise you well. Avoid him.
Nah. You know I'm far too curious for that.
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the fact that Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony. Our offensive was going splendidly until winter came.
This guy's being really honest with
Edern
us.
was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows.
What about Upper Edern?
Only a weakened Kedwen remained, and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoys, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwen, his ally. This attack took the Kedweni by surprise. They were still mourning the loss of their king. Rudderless and dejected, they laid down their arms after a few lost skirmishes and joined Radovid. And so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only one powerful one.
So, I mean, it seems like a gamble to attack them like that and hope that... one of the problems that Nilfgaard is having is that the lands that they've conquered, they have to find a way to hold. And that would be the same for Radovid. If he's taking, like, okay, so he can take Kedwen, but can he hold it? But it sounds like he was able to. To unite against the common foe of Nilfgaard, which would gladly devour both of them. Alright. He probably does admire it a little bit. I kind of want to say that, but I also do want to know, what about Kovir?
What about Kovir?
Kovir values its neutrality, enough not to lend its armies, or more importantly, even its coin to either side. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emhyr var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Oh, unless he does something unexpected.
You just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching, not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
You have to love Geralt, though. With all of his cynicism, and he's always got to point out whenever people are getting a little too comfortable or discussing a thing and getting somewhat abstract and removing themselves from the actual human cost of it, he's got to remind them. Oh, the people you killed? The people whose land you took? Yeah? Yeah? Not afraid to make those digs. Alright, well, I mean, this was a lot of very interesting information, so I quite appreciate that.
Thanks for your help.
Think nothing of it. May the great sun light your path.
No thanks, but you were surprisingly forthcoming with me. He just said it all. I don't know. I kind of like that guy. Hard to dislike him if he's willing to talk to me, so I like that. Yeah, check out this map. It's pretty sweet. Thanks, guy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push you. I didn't mind pushing those other guys, but you're all right. Okay. Well, there was a lot of reading to be done here, which I think was a good idea. I like the reading, but whew, I think we're gonna go ahead then. Oh, man, we read stuff all the way today.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Yeah. I was gonna stop, but we got a bit of cutscene here, so.
Citrus and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
Thanks for your concern.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
She's my daughter, so he can suck
Mentioned
it.
Something of the sort. So long.
Geralt was way more dad to her than ever Emperor was. Okay, good. Got my stuff. Hanged Man's Tree, huh? Where are we on the map? To switch to the continent view. Okay, so... Oh. No, yeah, I got it. Okay, anyhow. Okay, so, ooh, we actually have a quest we can get, and I do want to get. And then what? We can step out of here and go somewhere else? Travel to Velen. So do we not actually have to go into Vizima? Is it just the castle? We'll see. Alright. Gonna go ahead and wind the episode down here. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Come back in next time. First, we're going to go over to that Hangman's Tree. We're going to talk to whoever wants to talk to us to give us a quest, because I'm all about getting whatever quest we can. And then, apparently, we are going to go out into the big wide world, which is pretty exciting. Yeah.